Okay, today's demo is going to be just taking shape tool and combining shapes to create our image of whatever we're drawing, and then also changing the once we've created that shape, how do we make edits to that shape? Okay, so I'm starting with the ellipse tool, and I've created one, and I'm going to create another. And I can do a couple things. I can keep creating them from scratch by going to the shape tool and keep building, or I can take a shape, hold my Alt on the PC or Option on the Mac key and pull another shape out, rotate it. I can change the scale of it and the size of it. And I can keep doing that as well. Okay. So I'm going to stay here and say this is my flower. I want all of my shapes to overlap because I'm going to use the shape builder tool. So one easy way to do that, and I didn't really bring this up last class, is just take and put a circle in the middle. That'll make sure all of these are overlapping no matter what. And that's kind of going to give me that blank space I want in the middle because I'm going to put my detail for my flower in the middle. Okay, so now I have all of these shapes overlapping. I'm going to select all. I'm in my black arrow, which is the selection tool. And I've just gone to the side and drew a rectangle around it. And you can see everything is selected. I can see that because there's little dots in the center of each one of those ellipses. I'm going to go over here to the shape builder tool. And I haven't clicked yet. I'm just rolling over, and you know you're in the shape builder tool when it starts filling in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag, and I want to drag and cover, make sure everything is solid. All right, so there it is. You can see I have some weird extras. I'm just going to use my white direct selection tool. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. And I'm going to select, undo. I'm going to select these extra little bits that I don't need. And I'm using the white direct select tool because I don't want to select the whole object. I want to change the object. When you want to change the object, and I'm just hitting my delete, keep hitting my delete until all the little layers of these triangles go away. So I don't want any of them. Oop, undo. Now this one, I'm gonna take it off just one little bit. Okay, there we go. So here's my shape. But let's say I want pointy ends. They're all rounded because I made them out of ovals, but now I want pointy tips on these. So a couple things I'm going to show you. When I click on this, again, I'm still in the white direct select tool. See these little targets? When I roll over them, you can see how it's showing that I can make a curve. So if I click on these, I'm curving. Let me zoom in so you can really see it. If I click on these, I can change it from a point to a curve. And so that's a design choice I can make. I'm going to keep them pointy because I want my whole piece to be pointy. So now I'm going to click this anchor point. Since I made them out of ovals, there will be a point at the very tip of my petal. What I'm going to do is go over here to the pen tool. Now let's make sure we know what the difference of the pen tool and the curvature tool is. The pen tool is, and you can roll over and just let it show you. It's just the pen with no line coming out of it. The curvature tool, it looks like the pen tool, but it has a little line going out of it. They function quite differently, and I'm going to just show you just so we know what the difference is. The pen tool, I click, a line pulls out, I click again, I click again. If I want a curve, I have to click and pull to get my mezzanine handle out. Click and pull, click and pull, click and pull. Otherwise, I just click and it's straight lines. And when I connect them, it becomes a shape. So now it's a shape. Conversely, the curvature tool, I click and I move. Notice how there's no line coming out. I move and click again, and then I click and I click and I click. Notice how it's only making curves. It does not make straight lines. It just makes curved lines. So that's the curvature tool. Works a little differently than the pen tool. So we want to make sure we know the difference of those. And the reason I'm going to bring that up is when we have a shape. So here's my shape. I'm going to click on my shape, make it active, select it. I'm going to use my direct select tool, and I'm going to select a point and the tip here of one of my petals. I'm going to go to the pen tool and hold it down. Underneath the pen tool is the anchor point tool. It's also Shift C. And when I click on it, it immediately turns it into a corner. It takes the curve away and makes it a corner. So I can go to the tip of each one of my petals with just one click, and I am immediately turning them into points. There we go. So now all of my petals are pointy. So now it looks more like a succulent. Now, if I want to change anything, I can click, and you can see the handles below it. So I can kind of adjust it. Like, let's say I have I want a point that kind of changes direction or gets bloated or changes. It's not so perfect. These handles will adjust what the sides are doing, but they're not going to take away the point. The point is going to stay there. I can click and pull my point out more. It's going to stay pointy. I can also, though, because it is a point, and I can take and again, I'm in the direct select tool. See how when I roll over the little target, it shows me the curvature. I can come back and turn it back into a curve. So I can turn it back into a curve. Notice there's no point at the tip anymore. Or I can pull it all the way out and have it be pointy. All right. So those are some of the things you're able to do with using the shapes to build your plant or flower, and then change those ovals into pointy shapes. I'm going to stop our video. I don't know where I'm struggling to find our stop the video now with our new thing here. Let me stop sharing.